Previously, Yuya had been bullied his entire life, whether by classmates or by his own younger twin sibling. But then his parents disowned him because they couldn't get the inheritance that his grandfather had left in his name. Tired of all of this, Yuya saved a girl from some ruffians and was beaten up roughly by them, which hit the bottleneck of Yuya, and as he punched the wall in frustration, it led him to a secret room where he found a door that led him to another world. That house was located in a forest full of monsters, but the magical barrier always prevents intruders from entering. There, the powers he obtained transformed Yuya's body into hot Chad, but the girl he saved finds him and invites him to join her academy, Asan Academy, which was an elite school. So his sibling was envious that Yuya enrolled in a super elite school. So, if you enjoy the anime, please subscribe to the channel. As the story progressed, Yuya left the house and went to another world to explore the forest and level up, where he saved a girl from an orc general. But he left the moment the knight appeared to save her, and as he returned home, Yuya wanted some clothes that fit him, so he went to the mall to shop, and every girl was enchanted by his look. And there were two girls who approached Yuya in the hopes of getting to know him better, but Yuya declined them in such a way that they adored Yuya even more. But then the scene shifts to a crew of magazine photographers who wanted to complete their photo shoot on time, but the guy who was supposed to be the model was running late. And the photographer Hiraku has reached his limit enduring show's carelessness, so Hiraku goes around the mall to pick up any of the perfect-looking random guy. There Yuya was having a good time looking around, but everyone mistook him for a model or an actor, until Hiraku found the perfect boy for the photos on the escalator. Yuya couldn't refuse him and began for this photo shoot with their model named Mio, and the theme of this was a boyfriend and girlfriend. So far it was going nice, but the scene gets a bit intimate for Yuya as Mio has to get closer to him, then as her chest rubbed against his, he gave them an extremely funny shoot. The two models Yuya and Mio were gathering the crowd with their beauty, then as the working hours ended the crowd were still staring at Yuya. Then he spills the coffee a bit and Mio offers him her handkerchief. He gets a bit relaxed around Mio and admires her that she can keep up with this kinda hard work. From his life experience, Yuya and modeling were like the sky and the land, totally different, and never thought much about modeling. But seeing it firsthand made him realize how hard all of the crew works behind the scenes for models. Yuya wondered why Mio was inspired to do this job. Mio's parents were always so busy with their jobs that they couldn't give her their full attention. Apparently, Mio's desire to be seen and get attention inspired her to get into modeling. Winning others' hearts and receiving letters full of admiration kept her going forward. Mio saw right through Yuya and saw that he didn't have an ideal life, so she tells him to try to live his life the way he sees fun and that will always make him happy. It was the advice that Yuya took to heart. Even in their time off they were giving some awesome natural photos to Hiraku. But then the degenerate shows up who Yuya had replaced as a model, his name Sho, and a total lowlife, as he cornered Mio and was forcing her with words to drink with him. Yuya couldn't take his nuisance and tried to help Mio, but then Sho tried to punch Yuya and his instinct made him throw Sho like a paper. Yuya was surprised that his power was still working in this world, but he was still afraid that others would yell at him for beating such a handsome guy. But the crowd's reaction was completely opposite. All the crowd who were Sho fans had a new ideal type in their hearts, and it was Yuya. It served him right, and Hiraku even made a clip of him being a degenerate and uploaded it, so now his modeling career is destroyed. He was always like this with Mio, so Hiraku apologized to her that he didn't notice it sooner, but then Hiraku offers an official contract to work with Yuya, and with his pretty face. Yuya could become popular if he accepts it, but Yuya really admired them and the hard work they put in. But he still thinks he needs to improve in many ways to work with them. But it gave him a lot of experience, so he was happy with that. Hiraku respected Yuya's wishes and wanted to pay him for his hard work, so he picked some clothes himself to gift them to Yuya. He wanted to pay in money, but he's still an amateur, so that was out of his hands. Then, as they finished their work and were on their way home, Mio was browsing through their memories with Yuya, and Hiraku noticed it and began teasing her that she had her heart stolen. But Yuya's photo became so popular that a big modeling agency boss wanted to get her hands on Yuya before anyone else. Now, in that world, the girl whom Yuya had saved in that dark forest turns out to be the princess of the kingdom Arzelia named Lexia, and she decides to go in search of the person who saved her. despite her escort's attempts to convince her not to. As a result, her wish is granted when she meets Yuya again and Lexia unexpectedly proposes marriage to him. It was very confusing, but Yuya invited them in his house anyway, where they make their formal introduction as the royal guard and Lexia as the first princess of the Yarzelia kingdom. Living in a dangerous Fregoin with unimaginable power, Lexia and her knight mistook Yuya for nobility or some sort of powerful wandering mage, but he was far from it. They then told Yuya that they came to thank him for saving her, but she fell in love with him right away and wanted to marry him as a thank you. The confusion level broke out in Yuya's mind, so to make things easier and to take things slowly, Lexia settled on being friends first. And then the knight invited Yuya on behalf of the king to the royal castle to express their formal gratitude for saving Yuya. But it was already difficult for Yuya to manage time to spend in both worlds, so he agreed, but only when he had time to spare to get to the royal castle. Then, as the new day begins, Yuya stands out like a sore thumb that everyone just keeps staring at him. Yuya begins his life in the Asen Academy. While there was a sports class and everyone was in the football field playing, Yuya just had to set this one out because he didn't have his gym clothes ready yet. Kaede got there to keep him company while he was alone, but then the ball was kicked incorrectly, which could have hurt Kaede, but Yuya's inhuman move scored a goal even from that distance, surprising everyone on the pitch, and now Yuya has another girl falling for him. The one who kicked the ball in their way was Akira, and he's a bit unusual but not in a bad way, as he apologized to them. Then everyone started spreading this out even in the girls' locker room, as every one of them was just talking about Yuya as Kaori heard of his name. Kaede just jumped in excitement to tell her about Yuya. He was perfect, so other girls assumed he must have a girlfriend, and for this reason, Kaede and Kaori made it clear that they were jealous. However, when it came to Kaori's gym class, many of the delinquents showed up because of Yuya's little siblings. They were jealous that Kaori let their loser brother enroll in the academy and rejected them, so with the help of a group of delinquents, they wanted to have their revenge. They had crossed their line by doing this, and Yuya couldn't keep his cool when it came to Kaori. They let a sumo take in Yuya, but as if he could be a match for his otherworldly powers, he saved Kaori. The gang leader used his bike to sort out Yuya, but dodging him was like a piece of cake for him. The cops arrived and arrested all of them, but the leader of the gang grabbed Yuya's brother's neck to kill him because it was his plan, and now they were arrested, but in that moment, Yuya saved him for the sake of being a family, and he realized his wrongdoing. The entire class was impressed by Yuya for saving Kaori and the girls, but now Kaori is so taken with Yuya that she is stealing the glance of a love-struck girl. But that brings our video to a close for today. However, subscribe to the channel to get the latest updates on its next part. Until then, take care.